2021. A year that was, for the lack of a better word, a really strange year. Because we were dealing still with COVID, entertainment had been very much, slowed down. A lot of things were happening, but in very limited quantities due to the fact that people were trying to stay safe from COVID. And a lot of companies, including Disney, came along and they tried to do their best with, the restrictions that they had. So they came out and promoted shows like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They promoted shows like WandaVision, which came before. They promoted a lot of shows on that platform. And if there is one thing that we have to take away from, Disney's attempt at bringing entertainment, is that some things landed and some things didn't. And in the beginning, when it came to a show like What If, which was an animated title that, stuck in people's minds as like, oh, it's just, an offbeat world of Marvel. I mean, not a lot of people are going to love What If. And I mean, it came out. It had some pretty mild success. And it kind of piqued people's interest because it was like, oh, what is the possibilities that are going to be, appearing in Marvel? And I felt like they did a great job with that. So much so that it kind of was an introduction. That season was an introduction into Captain Carter. And Captain Carter has become a fan favorite. I absolutely love the character. I think that we should get her more in live action. And that is where my point comes in, where the fact that we got to see her in live action right after finishing What If, they actually released, Multiverse of Madness, and we got Captain Carter in that specific series. Now, is it the exact same Captain Carter that we see in the What If series? Absolutely not. So much so that her life is completely different than that of the one that we see in Multiverse of Madness. So all these little things were fantastic. And then they came out with season 2, which came out last year, which I think was a big bump and an improvement on what they had released on the original. And I think that, a lot of the stories were very, Christmas centered, and they had like really cool little details here and there. But all in all, that was a great little season that they had of season 2. It was a nice step up from the first season of What If. And now we come to this year, in this past year, I should say, which was 2024, and we got our third season of What If, which unfortunately will be the last season of What If, which kind of brings me a little bit of sadness, because season 3 of What If has got to be some of Marvel's best stories on TV. Now, when you watch What If Season 3, and if you're interested in that sort of thing, you'll realize that the stories that you are going to be seeing in the show are very heartfelt. I think that it's the first time that I see a show be so focused on bringing a warming message, a heartwarming message, to the greater MCU. And it's different, but I think that even though that they tried in their ways to do something heartwarming due to the fact that it was releasing in the holidays, I think that it landed so well. I think season 3 landed so well with so many little details, including the fact that, we get all the original cast, or I would say most of the original cast that do the live action characters back as the voices of these characters, which I think is absolutely amazing. And I also have to give it up for the animation team as well, because they actually put the likeness of those characters in the show. So, when you see somebody in the show and they look like, the actor who plays them, and that's the voice that you're hearing. Now, I'm saying most characters because some other characters came back with other voice actors. One notable one doing, probably the best the best impression of the bunch is Matt Friend. And obviously Matt Friend from social media, his impressions of different people, but he this time around is doing the voice of the Grandmaster, which I think is fantastic. It shows a true kind of connective cohesiveness that Disney has to seeing somebody's talent and saying, hey, would you like to do this character on the show? And I know that Jeff Goldblum would have probably done it, but just to see him in the series doing that part is really cool, and I absolutely loved seeing him do that voice, doing Jeff Goldblum's impression, and I think that was great for the show itself. But other than the voice acting and the animation being absolutely great, I think they really hit it off with this season. I think that they brought stories that were within the confines of Marvel. So what is possible within the Marvel universe, they were able to replicate on the show, even though that this story is so outlandish. The stories are so out there that they were able to bring it in and actually create a cohesive story in the end. So much so that in the end of this season, we kind of get the same thing that we got previous seasons, where you get like the amalgamation of these characters toward the end of the series. So I think that they really are. I'm not going to say that they're doing a mistake or they're making a mistake. Disney is not necessarily doing anything wrong here, but I do wish that they would have at least one or two more seasons in the bag. But I feel like this season alone really brought a message of, bringing people together, opening your eyes to different possibilities, things that other shows really don't even think about, specifically the live action ones, but they were able to do that in an animated form, which is a medium within and of itself, but to do it in Marvel and have these incredible messages about family, about going and fighting for people who you care about. Absolutely, this is exactly where Marvel shines, and in this season alone, it shined really brightly. And another aspect that really surprised me was that we started to see a different side to the Watcher, and I would not be surprised if we see Uatu back in some form in either Secret Wars or even Doomsday, because we know that in Secret Wars we're going to be having all the characters. I mean, we're talking about take whatever you saw in Endgame and multiply it by 3. That's how big in scope that Secret Wars is going to be. I would not be surprised if some of these characters from What If show up during Secret Wars. And if that happens, I am going to be absolutely elated. Getting back Captain Carter, seeing Howard the Duck, which was great this season with Kat Dennings, voice acting alongside Seth Green was fantastic. And seeing characters that we don't expect, people like, White Vision. White Vision is yet to be seen after the events of WandaVision. I know that there's a Vision Quest coming along, but seeing him in this form on this show also is another way of seeing the character. Seeing Riri Williams in this series is great, because we're about to have the Ironheart series. So it's great it's great how they are able to grab characters that we are about to see again in the near future and tell offbeat stories of those characters that we are about to see again. So I am ready to see where these stories go, because I don't think that this is going to be the end of it. They're saying it's the end of it. I don't know. I feel like there's still more stories to tell. There's still a lot more possibilities that can be, branched out into. So, I don't know. I really wish that they could make a season 4, because this season 3 was, of all the 3 seasons of What If, season 3 was, without a doubt, the best. So now I turn it back to you. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that season 3 of What If was as astronomically amazing as it was, or at least how I thought it was? Put that down below. Are you planning on watching all of What If you haven't watched What If? Do you want to see these characters in live action? I do. I want to see a few of these in live action. And tell me your overall thoughts on What If. Do you think What If is a worthwhile series to watch? Because some people have that discussion in their brains and they're trying to figure out whether or not to watch the show. So tell me what you think down below, because I want to hear your thoughts. Now, before I end this video, I would like to announce that if you are watching this video today, know that I am currently over at MegaCon, meaning I will be at the convention. So if you guys see me, if you guys cross paths with me, or if you recognize me, hey, I've seen your videos, can I talk to you? Of course. Please do. Please come up to me and please let's have discussions about movies. I love to talk about all this sorts of stuff. So feel free to come up to me and have a conversation. And who knows? Maybe we'll, hit it off. And maybe you could show up on this channel at some point. Who knows? It's like What If, right? What are the possibilities? And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when new videos go live on this channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll see you not only in the next video, but at MegaCon.
Scrolling through YouTube, same old routine, then bam, movie savant, what a scene. Trivia bombshells dropping knowledge like rain. Forget the dishes, gotta watch it again. Movie buffs unite, savants to place. Subscribe and hit the bell, don't leave a trace. Next level knowledge keeps you in the loop. Savants got the scoop, ain't nothing to recoup.